Hello, YouTube world. I want to talk to you briefly about a form of color coding and spell casting that we're seeing going on right now in the world, in world events, politics, sports, a little bit of everywhere. So, I want to start by mentioning the Golden State Warriors, who just won the NBA title a couple weeks ago. Meant to do this video right after they won, but have been busy. Um, and this finals was rigged. Basically, all of professional sports is rigged. These teams don't win NBA titles, NFL championships, World Series titles out of chance or just being the best team. It is scripted for them, and there are reasons for it. We've talked about that a lot in the past. Don't want to focus too much on that, but what I want to look at is let's look at the colors of the Golden State Warriors. That's what I want to focus on. And if you look at the Golden State Warriors franchise, their colors are blue and yellow, just two colors, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. So think about where have we been seeing the blue and yellow? Well, the Ukraine flag, blue and yellow, and of course all this propaganda of stand with Ukraine and wanting everyone to put the blue and yellow of the Ukraine flag on their Facebook profile, on emails, even to put pins on their clothing. And if we start looking more into this, where else are we seeing the blue and yellow used all the time? Well, we start to see it in ads and propaganda and materials for the jab. As we see here, the JAB, the jab. Be careful with my wording here. Blue and yellow. And if we look here at a few more ads and images for the jab, we see blue and yellow. Look at the clothing even. Blue, yellow, yellow, blue, blue, blue and yellow. We see this one, this ad and image, blue and yellow, all blue and yellow, all blue and yellow. Once again, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue and yellow. We see this one more, cleverly disguised the black, the background. So the conscious mind doesn't really see it, but the average person, their subconscious picks it up, and that's what it's meant to target. Is your subconscious mind? Is it's a form of spell casting, blue, yellow. So that's just a few examples, and I invite you for yourself to just do a normal Google search, and you'll find that this blue and yellow is used constantly in reference to the jab. And it is no accident. And then we notice who won the Super Bowl just a couple months ago, the LA Rams. Well, what are their team colors? Blue and yellow, just like Golden State. Both teams from California, and they have not only the same colors, but the same color tints. I mean, even the shade of blue and yellow are basically the exact same for the Golden State Warriors and LA Rams. Now, what would be the probability and coincidence that we see the LA Rams win the Super Bowl, the Golden State Warriors win the finals with that color, and we see the colors for this country, Ukraine, the same, being pushed like we've never seen colors being pushed for a country before? When in your life can you ever remember the government and media instructing you to wear pins and put emojis and images over everything you have, Facebook profile, Instagram, email, whatever, to wear pins on your clothing for the colors of another country? And then, of course, those colors are also always featured in all these images and ads for the jab, which obviously we've never seen anything like the jab in our lives. Um, In the jab, is it the MOTB from Revelation 13? Been meaning for a while to talk about that. At the very least, it looks to be part of it, and it may, in fact, may be the MOTB, the MARK from Revelation 13. But I hope to speak about that a little bit more on another video. Obviously, everyone watching this channel knows absolutely do not take it, avoid it like the plague. Myself, I would take death over ever taking the jab. Um, that's a story for another day. But this gets interesting. Is the first person I saw that really gave a good summary of this is Brother Wally over at Revelations of Jesus Christ Ministries. And if you've never watched his channel, I suggest it. Revelations of Jesus Christ Ministries. Wally's just a really sharp guy. Really knows the Bible well. Admittedly, he knows the Bible better than I do. And So this video he did recently on April 6th, The Whole World is a Stage, he gets into talking about this color coding of the blue and yellow and how these are literally the colors of the Antichrist, how these colors have been chosen by Satan to represent the Antichrist. And, we'll even see this with, I believe, the European Union. You see that blue and yellow being used. Um, in fact, I may just try and look that up real quick. I forgot to mention that the European Union. Yeah, isn't that something how we see the blue and yellow with the European Union, which is obviously part of the NWO system? There you have it. Once again, the blue and yellow with the European Union, the blue and yellow once again. So this blue and yellow every year, the European Union, which is part of the NWO Antichrist system. But I really suggest if you want to learn a little bit more about this, the first person I saw to tie this all together was Brother Wally at Revelations of Jesus Christ Ministries. Giving credit where credit's due. He saw this before I did in terms of putting it all together across the board. How this is color coding and spell casting for the Antichrist. I'm just expanding a little bit on this and trying to make people aware of it. So it's about an hour and 25 minutes into this video, The World is a Stage, where he gets more into talking about this blue and yellow color coding and spell casting, that these are colors being used for the Antichrist to cast a spell on all the world and all society. And no surprise, predictably, we see a team with the same colors, blue and yellow, winning a rigged NBA championship. We'll have to see with the World Series coming up what happens with that or what happens in the sporting world, but we're just seeing this blue and yellow everywhere. No coincidence. Ukraine, the jab, just everywhere with the jab. We saw it with the LA Rams winning the Super Bowl. And Brother Wally over at Revelations of Jesus Christ. There's more information on this, and I encourage you to take a look at that. And of course, after the NBA Finals, in the post-game interviews here, we see Steph Curry, the Finals MVP, giving you the old 666 up around the eye, and it's pretty blatant when you see, an athlete putting the 666 hand sign up around their eye, the fingers over the eye. I mean, it's pretty hard to just denounce that as coincidence. That's pretty in your face, showing you who he's down with. Um, you know, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Is if you didn't already believe something was up with the NBA and professional sports, that these guys, a lot of them are deeply into the cult. Here you see the 666 up around the eye for the Finals MVP, Steph Curry. European Union, the blue and yellow. So, in summary, these colors, and this was Wally's spin on it, is that these colors, blue and yellow, are being used to represent the Antichrist. They were chosen by Satan, and in his video, he gets into talking about how the yellow represents the sun and the blue represents water, both colors of life. The sun and water on this earth give us life as much as anything, as essential things we need to survive. The sun is what gives energy to grow food. The water is the most important thing to sustain life on this planet. Besides God, obviously, we need water to sustain our bodies. So they've managed to cast this spell on people to equate subconsciously this blue and yellow, the sun and water, with life. So the message is kind of, simply that the jab gives you life. Do you kind of see what we're saying here is that this blue and yellow, instead of the sun and water giving you life, the jab gives you life. So it's an idol in your mind subconsciously replacing God, that this jab is your new god. um, Essentially just giving you kind of a quick summary of the color coding, the spell casting, how they're planting the seed in people's minds subconsciously to take the jab. That this is working on a subconscious level. The yellow represents the sun, the blue represents water. So people subconsciously equate these colors, blue and yellow, with life-giving properties. So then they subconsciously connect that with the jab, and are subconsciously being brainwashed to believe the jab gives them life. It's a form of spell casting and a spell. And as we've seen, what is it? 80% of this country has gone out and gotten the jab. So just wanted to point that out. There's obviously really something to this with the blue and yellow, the Antichrist, and the jab. And just wanted to point this out so that you look for it. Look for it in the media, in world events, and news stories and sports, that there's something going on with the blue and yellow. And I believe Brother Wally over at Revelations of Jesus Christ Ministries, and this video, The Whole World is a Stage, has hit the nail on the head about blue and yellow really representing the Antichrist. So just want to put this out there and give you a brief summary. I hope this is a blessing to you. God bless all of you that are in the Lord. I just encourage you to seek the Lord, read your word, and I'll talk to you again real soon.